Stoicism teaches that attachment is the root of suffering, and in relationships this proves even more true. When a man clings deeply to a woman, he is no longer free. He becomes a slave to her emotions. Love that was once light and attractive begins to become heavy, suffocating, and this weight is felt by her. No one wants to carry a burden, especially when it presents itself disguised as affection. The moment desire is transformed into necessity, the balance is broken. For the Stoics, the ideal is to desire without depending, to love without losing oneself. The man who becomes dependent on her affection is actually giving up his own center of power. He transfers his emotional axis outside of himself, becoming vulnerable to changes in mood, presence, and even message response. She notices this subtle change. He realizes that you are no longer that centered man who had a full life before he met her. Now, you spin around it, and that generates discomfort. Stoicism teaches us that nothing external should control our inner peace. When she feels like she has that control over you, something breaks. Passion feeds on mystery, lightness, freedom. Attachment destroys that. The man who lives in moderation with balance, who accepts the impermanence of things, naturally becomes more attractive. He doesn't have to say he has value. He shows it by not despairing. He remains serene, even in the face of absence. The absence of attachment is not coldness. It is inner strength. It is knowing that everything that comes can go. And even if you go, you remain whole. This is the true security that a woman perceives in a man. She knows he won't beg, force, or try to trap. He invites her to stay, but never forces her, and that's why she wants to stay. In love, as in life, those who seek control end up losing their charm. True power lies in not clinging to what you can't control. A Stoic loves with presence, but never with prison. And this emotional freedom is, paradoxically, what attracts the most. Respect and attraction go together. A man who has no control over his emotions gradually becomes invisible to her eyes. Stoicism does not require you to be cold, but that you be firm. When you despair, react impulsively, or live by her answers, you are surrendering your throne. And a king without a throne is not remembered. Controlling what is inside you is the first step to mastering what is outside. If she feels that you are destructured by any absence, you lose yourself at the slightest sign of rejection, she understands. This man is fragile. And as hard as it sounds, emotional fragility is a sign of low value in the game of love. The Stoic man watches. He feels it, but he does not despair. He notices his own impulses, but he is not a slave to them. He may deeply like a woman, but he will never allow that taste to turn him into someone anxious, needy, or out of control. He maintains his posture. His emotional stability is the most powerful shield he possesses, and it is precisely this internal control that generates respect. She may even test her limits, take time to respond, seem distant, but when she realizes that none of this affects her peace, something changes inside her. She realizes, this guy is different, not just anyone. And this silent respect transforms everything. Respect is not born from what you say, but from what you tolerate without destabilizing yourself. The man who lives by principles, who is clear about what he accepts and what he does not accept, stands out. He doesn't try to please to be accepted. He is accepted because he does not need to please, and that's magnetic. In the end, it's simple. Either you control your emotions, or you'll be controlled by them. And a woman never respects a man who has lost his own command. She may even stay for a while, but deep down, she knows that this is not the leader she is looking for. Uncontrolled passion looks beautiful in the movies, but in real life it charges dearly. Stoicism warns, too much emotion weakens judgment. When a man enters a relationship blindfolded by emotions, he begins to act reactively. Her every gesture turns into an emotional roller coaster. This is exhausting and noticeable. Emotional weakness reveals itself in the details, in the texts without an answer, in calls out of turn, in the rush to solve everything, in the fear of losing. It's as if your identity is in her hands. A simple check without an answer becomes a crisis. This is not love, it is attachment disguised as intensity. The Stoic man sees reality as it is. He recognizes the signs, but he does not lose control over them. He feels it, but doesn't freak out. He likes it, but he doesn't get lost. Their emotional stability is the result of training, awareness, and commitment to their own peace. He doesn't allow a relationship to steal what he has built internally. When the woman realizes this balance, she feels safe, not to dominate, but to trust. An emotionally stable man is rare. It does not need constant attention nor daily guarantees. He lives the now with presence. This makes your company light, interesting, and inspiring. Emotional weakness also contaminates the couple's energy. Instead of lightness, there is demand. Instead of pleasure, tension. Instead of attraction, obligation. Stoicism teaches, control yourself, or you will be controlled by circumstances. And in a relationship, whoever loses emotional control loses respect. She doesn't need a superhero, but someone who knows how to maintain their integrity even in difficult times. This silent force is what separates the ordinary man from the memorable man. Being too present, too available, too predictable, all of this reduces the mystery. Stoicism teaches that the value lies in maintaining a certain reserve, a certain healthy distance. It is in absence that desire is activated. When you add up a little, she starts to ask herself, where is he? What is he doing? The human mind values what is scarce, and this applies to relationships. The man who lives chasing, who is always there, ready, available, loses value without realizing it. It's not a matter of the game, it's a matter of positioning. You should be approachable, but never banal, available, but never disposable. The strategic absence is a silent invitation. You don't say you have value. You show that your life is full, that your time is selective, that you're not idle waiting for attention. She notices this, and deep down, it respects. Because women are attracted to men who have a world of their own going on. This does not mean ignoring or being indifferent. It means that you prioritize your own life, your projects, your workouts, your plans. You answer, but in your own time. You show up, but when it's really necessary. This well-dosed absence creates a field of magnetism. She misses you without you having to force it. The Stoic understands that he does not need to be seen all the time to be remembered. He trusts in what he offers and does not despair of constant presence. He knows that the real value is in who he is, not how long he stays with someone. And this quiet confidence is perceived. Being a little absent is like air. We only miss it when it starts to disappear. Use this wisely. Your presence will be valued when your absence is felt. The Stoic values balance, not too much, not too little. And in love, this is also fundamental. Showing affection is good, but exaggerating it creates a side effect. It suffocates. Every time you go over the right measure, interest starts to drop. Why? Because excess always generates saturation. You want to hold too much, kiss too much, text too much, and in doing so, it conveys a clear message. I need you to feel good. That's not appealing. This creates pressure, and the pressure destroys the charm. The man who knows how to dose affection creates a lighter environment where she also feels like getting closer. Moderation is not coldness, it is self-control. It is the mastery of one's own excitement. It is to know that the game of seduction also lives on pauses, spaces, silences. Those who talk all the time don't listen. Those who act all the time do not observe. The Stoic listens, observes, and acts only when necessary. Women are sensitive to energy. They notice when affection comes from fear and not from freedom. And when that happens, they move away. Because no one wants to feel responsible for the happiness of the other. The man who knows how to love without suffocating creates space for her love to flourish naturally. Attraction is born in balance. The man who exaggerates becomes needy. What closes too much turns into ice. The secret is the center, that point where you show interest but never lose your composure, where you care but don't kneel, where you love but don't cancel yourself out. This moderation is what keeps the flame burning over time. And it is exactly this posture that separates fleeting relationships from those that leave marks. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is not to react immediately to emotions. Emotions come and go, but our actions remain. In the field of relationships, this is essential. When you respond in the heat of emotion, with jealousy, with anxiety, with anger, you surrender your control. And whoever loses control loses respect. Stoic wisdom teaches that we must observe before reacting. If she takes a long time to respond, if she seems distant, if she changes her tone, you observe. He doesn't jump to conclusions. He doesn't send 3 messages in a row. He doesn't charge. The Stoic understands that his value does not change by varying another person's behavior. Men who live trapped in emotional impulsivity reveal weakness. And as harsh as this sounds, it's true. Women perceive this lack of control and feel emotionally unprotected. Because if you don't even control yourself, how can you sustain a mature relationship? The Stoic practice is daily. When faced with a provocation, breathe. In the face of absence, breathe. In the face of uncertainty, stay present. It's not about swallowing emotions, but about not becoming hostage to them. You feel it, but you decide clearly. This is the art of being a man in the face of emotional challenges. The man who does not react automatically transmits strength. And this silent force is felt by her. She knows that there is someone there who will not fall apart with each conflict, someone who has the emotional structure to deal with the ups and downs without exploding or begging. Remember, not every message needs an immediate response. Not all silence should be filled. Sometimes the best reaction is silence, and it is in it that his firmness is revealed. In Stoicism, there is a clear principle: do not force what does not depend on you. Applied to relationships, this means giving space. When you step back a bit, it's not rejection, it's respect for her time and freedom. It is this space that allows her to come to you by will and not by obligation. Many men are afraid to give this space. They think they will lose their wife if they are not present all the time, but the effect is just the opposite. Excessive presence generates fatigue. The strategic absence, on the other hand, creates nostalgia. And nostalgia only exists when there is value. By giving her space, you allow her to choose that she wishes. Let her decide to get closer. That's powerful. Because her desire was not pushed nor demanded, it was awakened naturally. The Stoic man understands that love is not prison, it is freedom accompanied by mutual interest. When you withdraw a little, she observes. He's not chasing, he's not desperate. What are you doing? And this doubt is a catalyst for attraction. Absence breeds curiosity, and curiosity rekindles interest. It is a natural movement. It is in this space that you cultivate value, not being indifferent, but being at peace with your life, busy with your projects, present on your path. And this posture makes her move. She sends the message. She sets up the next meeting, because now it is also investing. Let her feel the freedom to want you, not the pressure of having to respond. This is one of the greatest gifts a man can offer, the chance for her to come on her own. Love should not cost you your essence. Stoicism holds that the most valuable asset we possess is our inner integrity. In other words, your peace, your routine, your principles and your goals cannot be abandoned by anyone, not even the most beautiful woman in the world. Unbridled passion often makes a man forget who he is. It changes your schedule, your priorities, your energy. He lives for her, revolves around her approval. But this, contrary to what many think, does not generate connection. It generates discomfort, because a man who abandons himself transmits insecurity. To remain whole is to stay on course. You can like someone, get involved, be present, but without losing himself, without ceasing to train, to work, to read, to evolve, without stopping to develop, to adapt to her desires. A man who does this loses his axis, and with it, he also loses respect. She doesn't want a man who says yes to everything. She wants someone with an identity, that he has his own life happening. Let it be complete in itself. Because only then does she feel that she is with someone real, and not with a shadow molded to please her. A woman wants to be part of her life, not the center of it, and you can only offer something of value if you have a real life to share. The Stoic man knows this. He loves without forgetting himself. He surrenders, but he does not abandon himself. Passion without self-awareness becomes a prison. Love with structure turns into partnership. Choose the second option. It's the one that lasts. In Stoicism, we learn that the universe works by cause and effect. In relationships, this translates into something simple: action and reaction. When they invest, you reciprocate. When she walks away, you observe. You don't force your hand. You respect the rhythm and act consciously. This posture is powerful because it shows that you are not acting out of need, but out of reciprocity. You're not driven by the fear of losing it, but by the pleasure of building something real. This reverses the balance. Now she feels she needs to keep her balance as well, and that changes everything. When the woman realizes that you are not willing to chase all the time, she understands that she also needs to move. You need to send the message, show interest, set up the meeting, and this makes her feel active, part of the process. The game is fair, natural. The mistake of many men is to overreact. She disappears and he sends 3 messages. She says she can't, and he begs her. This destroys the value, because the woman understands, he is too available even when I don't do anything for it. That kills the desire. Desire needs emotional tension. The Stoic man knows this. He does not rush. He lets her movement define the dance. If she comes, he approaches. If she stops, he observes, not to manipulate, but because he understands that the relationship is a two-way street, and that running alone is a sign of imbalance. The serenity of his answer shows the depth of his maturity. She is not impressed by those who run too much. She is impressed by those who know how to stop at the right time. To ask for attention is to declare without words that you are not enough, and that hurts your image more than any visible error. The Stoic man understands that purpose always comes before passion, that focus always comes before neediness. He doesn't need a woman to look at him to feel alive. He's already busy living. The woman notices when you are seeking attention. It notices in the way you approach, in the questions you ask, in the number of messages, and this, however unconscious, diminishes her interest. Because the true man attracts, he does not beg. It magnetizes, not forces. The man who walks with purpose becomes admirable. He may be in love, but he is not out of control. He knows where he wants to go and does not deviate from the path to please. He makes the relationship go hand in hand with your life, not the other way around. And this posture is rare and therefore valuable. When you put your attention on something bigger, your mission, your growth, your impact, the people around you feel it, including her. And the most curious thing is that the less you demand attention, the more it tends to come, because you are not there out of necessity, but by choice. The Stoic understands that everything that is forced moves away. He doesn't demand love, he offers. He doesn't demand presence, he values absence. And it is this balance that builds healthy, free, and intense relationships at the same time. Remember, a man with purpose lights the way. A man who begs for attention only casts a shadow. When a woman becomes the center of your life, you automatically put yourself on the margins of your own history. Stoicism teaches that we should be protagonists of our journey. This means that your focus needs to be on your evolution, not on pleasing or keeping someone by your side at any cost. By making a woman your top priority, you begin to neglect your goals, your health, your personal development. Everything starts to revolve around it, and this inversion of values breaks the balance. She realizes that you have abandoned yourself, and as much as she likes attention, no one wants to carry that emotional weight. The Stoic man is centered. He loves, but he is not lost. He gets involved, but he doesn't forget what he is. Your life goes on moving, with or without company, and this constancy is what attracts. Because she realizes, he is with me because he wants to, not because he needs to. That changes everything. You can prioritize a woman, but never put her on a pedestal. At the top of your life, there must be your purpose. This is not selfishness, it is responsibility. A man without direction becomes unstable, and emotional instability destroys any chance of a deep and lasting connection. Women admire men who stay focused, who remain firm even when in love, who can say no when necessary, who have a life going on beyond the relationship. This conveys security, and security is sexy. So instead of living for it, live with it. Share, but don't abandon yourself. Those who live in a centered way inspire. Those who live for the other get tired. Stoicism values patience as one of the greatest virtues, and in relationships, it proves to be essential. The rush to make it work, to conquer quickly, to define everything quickly, reveals anxiety. And anxiety destroys what could flourish naturally. When you are in a hurry, you force it. And everything that is forced tends to break. The patient man observes, allows time to reveal intentions, that the connection is built little by little. He doesn't need to pressure or charge. He understands that what is true resists time, and what is not falls apart on its own. Women notice this patience. They notice when a man is calm with the process, without that desperate urgency to control everything. This calm transmits strength. And that emotional strength is irresistible because it's rarely found. Patience also protects you. It prevents you from plunging headlong into illusions that idealizes too much, that creates expectations about someone who has not even shown who he really is. The Stoic knows how to wait. He watches carefully before indulging with intensity. Waiting is not being passive. It is being strategic. It is trusting that what is yours will come. And if it doesn't, it wasn't. This serenity creates lightness in the relationship. She feels that she is not being pressured, that she has space to open up, to approach at her own pace, and this increases her desire to be close. Patience is not an absence of action. It is knowing the right time to act. And in love, as in life, time is the best filter of truth. One of the biggest mistakes men make is projecting expectations on someone they don't even really know yet. They see a beautiful face, some qualities, and they already start to create a mental film. In Stoicism, this is seen as a vice of the imagination, something that needs to be firmly controlled. The mind loves to create narratives, especially when it is emotionally lacking. You start imagining a future, planning trips, thinking about dating, children, all this based on a few interactions. This is dangerous because you're not relating to the real woman. You're relating to the image you've created of her. The Stoic lives in the now. He observes the present moment clearly, without getting carried away by excitement. He wonders, what do I really know about her so far? This keeps your feet on the ground. It prevents him from plunging into unrealistic expectations and then suffering from disappointments that he himself created. Fantasizing too much takes away your strength, because the more expectation, the more anxiety. And the more anxiety, the more wrong behaviors arise, excessive messages, demands, jealousy. All of this kills the attraction. She realizes that you're not living in the moment, you're trying to secure a future that doesn't even exist yet. The beauty of life is in the now, in the eye to eye, in the coffee together, in the shared silence. That's where the real connection happens. The Stoic man understands this. He savors the moment. He observes without judging, without projecting. He allows things to happen naturally, without wanting to anticipate everything. And it is precisely this presence that generates charm, because the woman feels that she is with someone real, someone who sees her as she is, and not as she would like her to be. This is rare, and therefore so valuable. Every woman, consciously or unconsciously, tests the man she is in a relationship with, not out of malice, but to understand who he really is, if he is stable, if he keeps his word, if he has posture. And this is where self-mastery comes into play, as the greatest differential of a man of value. The Stoic does not react to tests. He recognizes them and faces them with serenity. If she walks away, he doesn't panic. If she challenges, he doesn't lose his mind. He remains firm, centered. This conveys a powerful message. I am who I am, with or without your validation. These tests usually appear at subtle moments. A delay, a provocation, a colder day, a longer silence. The common man freaks out. The Stoic man watches. And this difference changes everything, because self-control is seen as strength, and emotional strength is irresistible. The mistake is in wanting to prove something, in trying to explain yourself too much, in chasing so as not to lose. But all this only shows insecurity. The woman needs to feel that you are firm enough not to be shaken by the unpredictable, and that you don't depend on her approval to keep your peace. Self-control is also silent. It's not about yelling or imposing yourself. It's about maintaining the tone, about knowing when to speak and when to shut up, about understanding that respect is not asked, it is earned through posture. If you pass these invisible tests, she feels she can trust. And when trust comes in, the connection deepens. It all starts with the control you have over yourself. Liking is human, but depending on it is self-sabotage. The Stoic man learned that true emotional freedom comes from the balance between feeling and reason. You can deeply like a woman and still stick to your axis. This is the art of loving without getting lost. Emotional dependence turns love into prison. You start acting out of fear, not desire. Fear of losing, fear of being exchanged, fear of not being enough. And all this generates behaviors that wear out the relationship. The Stoic does not live by fear, he lives by consciousness. Loving with balance means continuing to live your life, maintaining your habits, your projects, your world. It is to understand that the other can add, but not fill. Because those who live waiting to be completed always end up frustrated, and it transmits an energy that the man who likes without depending is light. It does not require guarantees. He does not demand immediate reciprocity. He offers his presence as a gift, not as a charge. And this lightness is magnetic, because she feels like she can breathe close to him without the pressure of needing to sustain the emotional of two. Liking without depending is the pinnacle of maturity. It is being so at peace with yourself that any relationship becomes a bonus, not a necessity. The Stoic loves with both feet on the ground. He surrenders, but he never abandons himself. He feels it, but never begs him. And that's precisely why it's desired, because it shows in practice that true love begins with self-love.